Today we're here to talk about Garmin's latest GPS handheld, the eTrex Touch. From the unboxing to the setups, we're here to help you get to the trail faster. When you first get your eTrex Touch, you'll be able to unbox it, and inside you'll get your data and charging cable and then the eTrex Touch itself. So looking at the design of it, we have the new spine mount 2 located on the back. Your power button is located right here on the top. And then you have a USB-C port here on the bottom underneath the cover. Let's get started on getting your device set up. So first we're going to select the language, and then it's going to ask you for your current activity, it's setting to hike, and you can either change that now or keep that as your default. I'll go ahead and keep it. And then here you're going to want to use your smartphone to scan the QR code to get this set up inside of Garmin Explore. I'm going to skip that for now, but you would want to go ahead and scan this QR code with your phone, and then it would kick you over to the Garmin Explore app to get your device paired. And then you also, once that's done, you're going to have the ability to set up a passcode if you'd like to secure your device. So you can either create a passcode if you'd like, or you can just click Not Now. You can always set that up later. And then here we get into using the device. Now that we have your new eTrex Touch device set up, let's go ahead and walk through our new interface. In order to do this, I'm going to go ahead and swap the unit with the unit that I've already been using that has some really cool data in it. So here we are, we're at our new interface, and you can see right here at the bottom that there's 3 little dashes. That is indicating that there are 3 pages already set up. So this device does have a 3-inch touchscreen display that you can use to just swipe between these pages. So we went from our home page here to like kind of a widgets and apps page, and then if we swipe again, we're gonna get to our data page, and then you can go ahead and swipe back. So again, using the touchscreen, if you want, you can also swipe down, which opens up your settings menu. So from here, you can find things like, this is your power button. You can turn it off from here. You can create a waypoint. You can look at your connectivity for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. You can also do things like Garmin Share, which we'll get into all of that in a little bit. So again, you can swipe that away. And then once you have opened up a few of these widgets here and have some pages kind of opening, if you swipe from the bottom, those pages can then show up. So then you can either quickly select those to go to that page, or you can close them by swiping them away. Okay, let's next start at how you can configure data pages and data screens for different activity types. So as we did in the setup, our default went to hike, but if you click down here at the bottom for start activity, you're gonna be taken to this page where this large icon at the top, you can actually choose which type of activity you'd like to do. So if we click on that, you can see there's a list here of the different activity types that are pre-set up for you. And so you can either just select one of those. Let's say we're gonna do a bike ride instead, and then you can go back and you could start a bike ride. Or if there's things on this list that you want to edit or add different activities, you can hit edit here, and then you can either delete them from your list or move them around. So you can kind of create and customize this list however you'd like. So you can hit add activity, and you could add an adventure race, you could add canoeing, fishing, flying, whatever activity it is that you would like to do, you can get those added to your list, and then again, customize the order in which those will show up. So one thing I do want to mention here is when you are choosing the activity type here, the pages that we just talked about are specific to that activity type. So if you, like here we have again the 3 dots, the 3 dashes at the bottom. So if you scroll through these pages, when you change the data fields on these pages, it's changing them specifically for the bike activity. So if we go back and we switch it to mountaineering, it's a different set of data fields. So you're customizing these pages based on the activity type that you would like to do. So if you make a change here, it doesn't change the other types of activities. So I just want to be really clear about that. So you can really customize each type of activity to exactly the way that you would like it to do. So let's go ahead, and so we're back on a hiking page here. And if you'd like to change anything about these pages, you can just either, like if it's a widget, you press it to go into it, but if you press and hold it, you can go into the screen where it says edit the glance or edit the home screen. So if you're editing the glance, you're just changing that particular glance. So you can pick whichever one you want in that spot. So if you don't want the sunrise, sun and moon information there, you can just press and hold that, edit the glance, change it to maybe a stopwatch, and then now that glance has changed to the data field that you would like to see. Now, if that's just changing one particular glance. If you want to change the entire layout, you can hit edit the home screen. And so here it's gone into more of like editing the entire page instead of just one widget. So here at the top, it's showing you you're on the hiking overview page, and then here's your tools page. and then again your hiking data field. So you can customize the layout of each one of those, or you could add a page. So if you add the page, it's showing you those first 3 things again, just as what you already have as default, but you can keep going. There's more in here. So there's a geocaching page if you want to add that. There's an ABC page that's going to show your altimeter, barometer, and compass there with a few other extra widgets. A really nice navigation page. You could choose that one to add in, or if you want to really just go all in on creating custom, you can create these blank layouts. So this one has 5 glances, 6 glances, 4 glances, whatever the layout might be, and then you can choose from the very beginning everything that goes into each one of those different pages. But for now, I think we'll just keep what we have here for the default setup for the purpose of this video. But one more thing that I do want to point out here is this pin button at the bottom. So the pin button is pretty cool. So just like I said, you are changing data fields per activity. So you can customize every activity just the way you want it. But let's say you set up one of these pages that you just absolutely love and you would like to see that in every type of activity that you do. If you pin that page, it's now pinned across all activities so that you don't have to keep recreating the same page over and over again in all your different activity types. So that's pretty cool. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is how to move the pages around. So after you've made all the edits that you want to do, if you press and hold the page again and you want to edit your home screen, these little buttons at the bottom are moving the pages. So I'm on this page now and I want to click this. It now moves it into the second position, which is where I wanted it. So once I select OK, now those pages are back in the order that I want them in. Next up, let's talk about the legacy view that you can still get to on this device. So far we've been working on the main interface here, but if you notice down here at the bottom, there's this little grid button. And if I push that, it kind of goes back into our legacy view where a lot of our apps are showing. So we've got the map, the compass, your settings, your altimeter, your map managers here. I see you can mark a waypoint. You can get into your saved file where it saves your activities, your waypoints, and your courses. You can go into the weather app from here. You can look at your satellite page. You can even do an area calculation. You can get into your up ahead app. We've got a stopwatch, Garmin Share, Connect IQ, a place that you can store photos from your computer if you'd like, and then our Applied Ballistics app. So again, you can toggle between the activity data pages view and then this settings page by going through that little button there down in the corner. Next, let's discuss how you can use the search function within the eTrex Touch. So down here at the bottom of the page, go ahead and click the little magnifying glass, and you can use the search bar at the top to either type in to search for something using the keyboard, or you can toggle between the map, the apps, or the settings to filter to look for those different types of things. So if we click on map here and I want to maybe go under my saved, then I can look for my saved waypoints as well from here, and you could search at the top again if you're looking for a particular waypoint that you want to find very quickly. So let's go ahead and click settings right here. And so this gets into the settings where you can configure the device in all the different ways that you want it to make work best for you. So starting here at the top of the list, you have sounds. So you can decide whether you want the device to have tones on or off. So it'll make like a little sound when you're clicking around on the screen or not. You can go into your smart notifications and decide if you want those on or off. How do you want that to sound for calls coming in, texts, or apps when you're paired to your compatible smartphone? And then you also have turn warnings. So during navigation, you can choose what kind of alerts you want for your navigation. And then in display and brightness, you can again set up your brightness level, whether you want it to be on an auto brightness or off. And then again, this is really probably a good spot to look at is the display timeout. So I believe the default is 30 seconds out of the box. And so if that is not the right amount of time that you want for your display to turn off automatically to help save the battery life, then you can go in here to the display setting and you can choose 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or even never. So I've gone ahead and chose 2 minutes for this demonstration. And then you can also have an appearance for dark mode. Either it can be auto, on or off. And then next we would get into connectivity. So this is where you can configure sensors and accessories like heart rate monitors. So the eTrex Touch is a great device for somebody who wants to do a little bit of everything. So maybe you do cycling, hiking, canoeing, rafting, different types of activities. And we do allow this to be paired to a heart rate sensor. So you can go for that casual cycling ride, and then your eTrex can record the activity, but you can also take along your heart rate strap, and that way you can get some biometric data for yourself as well. This also works with Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and then again we have Garmin Share here. And then next up is activities. So again, this is where you can edit your activities if you'd like to. We already talked about that. And then in the system settings, this is where you could go into satellites. So auto select is going to give you the ability for the device to automatically decide which type of satellites it needs on. So it can automatically toggle between GPS only, which is really efficient for battery life, or when it detects that it needs extra satellite boost, it might go into a dual band, which might be needed for canyons or tree cover. And so it kind of kicks up the power on that. And so it automatically selects what the most efficient way to use the GPS. Or you can, if you wanted to lock into one of those specifically, you can choose all systems plus multiband or GPS only as well. You can also go in and configure, again, compass, altimeter, barometer. You can change your language. This is where you could set up your passcode if you didn't do it the first time around. And then you can also choose what kind of units you want to use. So statute versus metric or maybe nautical. You can decide that in there. Fahrenheit maybe versus Celsius. So again, configuring all these different settings just the way that you want them to be. Next up, let's look at our Save tab and then go through some of our courses and activities that I have saved on the device and then how that relates to starting an activity. So if I want to look up the data that I already have on here, I can click on the Save tab, and Garmin allows you to create collections or filter to be able to see things one at a time. So we've got activities that you can filter. You've got your courses or your waypoints, or you can look at all of them at the same time. Or if you want to combine some of those, you can create collections. So you can see here I went to the Grand Canyon, so I have a collection there of those waypoints and courses. I went to Ireland, and then I also did the Unbound event, and then I've also been to Greece and Italy. So under each of those different trips, I was able to create the things that I wanted to do and then keep them collected together. So let's bring all of that together now to kind of show how you would actually use this on a day-to-day basis. So you turn your device on, you want to click Start Activity, choose the activity type. Let's say I am going to go hiking, but you might change that to a walk. And then now I want to pick one of my recent saved waypoints or courses. So I'm going to go here and click the courses. I'm going to find my hike. I want to go ahead and do that. I'm going to navigate. I'm going to keep my routing off. Just make sure all my settings look good, and then I'll hit go. And then from there, start your activity. Once you've started the activity, it's now using the routing that we've inputted, plus it's started the timer here at the bottom, so you're now recording your activity. So this will continue to run while you're out for your hike, and then when you're finished, you're gonna click that button again, and you can either stop the activity, which will allow you to either resume it again, you can save it, or if you need help getting back to where you started because you got a little bit turned around, you can use the track back feature from here, or you can just go ahead and discard it. Next up, let's talk about geocaching. So geocaching is a really popular activity that a lot of Garmin customers use with their eTrex. So let's go ahead and look and see what that looks like. So I'm going to go into our apps here. I'm going to select geocaching. This device has already been set up, but we definitely recommend that you create an account with geocaching.com so that you can link the two accounts together. So my account has already been set up, but once you set it up, it will automatically download the closest 5 geocaches to the location that you are when you do that first initial setup. But obviously, if you're not geocaching right next to your house or wherever you set it up as, when you move around, what you're going to need to do is if you move to a different location, you want to refresh the map. So when you click the little refresh here, it's going to call out and look for the geocaches that are closest to you, and then it actually will download the 25 closest geocaches to your location. So here, you've got a map that you can see where the geocaches are located, and then you can also choose which one you want to find next. And so if you click on that, It'll pull up the geocache, it'll give you the difficulty rating, the terrain, what size it is, and then again you can navigate to get to that geocache. You can also just click on the map and it can show you all of the geocaches that you've had downloaded or that are saved in your area. And again, you can always you can filter here. So you can filter for the type of geocache, the size, the status, and that way when you're looking at the map, you don't have so many that you're trying to filter through. But once you've selected what you want to do, again, you have the ability, once you're into the geocache, you navigate to it and you can either save that as a waypoint, you can you can log for it, and you can find your hints as well. Now, if you are not a premium geocache member, you are only allowed to download, I think it's 3 hints per day. But if you have a premium account, you can do unlimited amounts of hints per day. Now that we've taken a look at geocaching, next let's move on to the map and our map layers. So I'll click on the map. And then from here, you have a hamburger menu at the top, so you can click on that and you could stop your navigation, get into your map setup, measure distance, again, look at that geocaching filter, and then get into map layers. Or if you want to go straight to your map layers, you can hit the map layers button right there. And some of the layers are going to be included with an eTrex Touch, like your Topo Active, base map, and popularity routing. And then other layers are going to require an Outdoor Maps Plus subscription. So you just choose the types of layers that you want by toggling them on or off. So you can see the highlight there changing from either one to the other. Or I can scroll down and choose, like add the popularity routing. And then when you close out the menu, then you can see that those layers have been added. So popularity routing is the purple lines that kind of highlight where Garmin data users are using the devices most regularly. Let's continue talking about our map by looking at our map manager. So I'm going to go ahead and click the button here to get into this display here. Click on Map Manager, and this is where you can see Outdoor Maps Plus, Topo Active Maps, and check for updates. I do want to highly recommend that you use that check for updates. It does require either plugging your device into a computer or using Wi-Fi, but our Topo Active Maps are updated several times a year. So if you want to make sure you have the most up-to-date map, highly recommend that you check for updates on your map, especially when the device is new, just making sure that we have the latest and greatest map available for you on your device. But clicking into the top here, we have Outdoor Maps Plus. So I already have an Outdoor Maps Plus subscription set up, but if you don't, you could start the process from here. But once you have that subscription available, you can click on New Map. And then let's say I'm going to go somewhere new and I want to get a map there, so I can scroll the map to where I'm going to be at. So let's just move over a little bit, and then I can kind of make that zoom level a little bit different. And then it shows me the size of the download and how many layers I have currently selected right there. So you can choose the different map layers, and then once you have that set up, you can name that map, and then again choose the type of map layers that you want to download for that area. Once you've made all the selections for what you want, like maybe I want boat ramps and campgrounds. So now I have 5 layers selected. It's telling me the size that it's going to take to download that, and I would click next, and then I can download that map. Garmin Share is a really cool feature that I want to talk about next, where you can transfer waypoints and courses between 2 Garmin devices that are compatible with Garmin Share. So I'm going to start at the eTrex Touch, and I'm going to scroll over to where it says Garmin Share. I'm going to select that. So we have a ready to receive showing, or the share button. So I've already set up my Instinct 3 to receive for Garmin Share. So I'm going to go ahead and hit share from here. And let's say I want to share this waypoint. Share one item. It finds my Instinct 3. And it's going to instantly send that waypoint from one device to the other. So the devices do not have to be paired together. So that can be within your own devices, but you can also share waypoints and courses with your friends. So you're going to get ready to go. Maybe you create the course, you go out for that hike with your friend. You want to give them the course right there at the trailhead. You can do this instantly using Garmin Share. Now we're going to talk about how you can use your eTrex Touch in conjunction with your smartphone using the Garmin Explore app. So we'll go ahead and take a look here. So inside of Garmin Explore, I'm currently on the map page. Within the map page, you can either search or you can click on the layers button. You can choose between the different layers that we have here, which includes some of these are showing that they are Garmin Outdoor Maps Plus subscription required. But you can again choose between which layers you want to show up within your map. From here, you can also click the plus button where you can do these different things within the map. Let's go ahead and look at like creating a course. So you can click around on the screen and create new courses, and it will follow those trails. And then when you're done, you can go ahead and save that. And then you can name that, give it a different color, and then that will automatically sync with your eTrex Touch. From there, it will show up in your Saved tab. So when we look at Saved, we've got, again, the activities that we've previously done showing here at the top. You can see the collections that you've created, or you could start a new collection. And then you have your saved courses and waypoints showing here at the bottom. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Like here, I hiked the Grand Canyon last year on the Rim to Rim Trail. So you can pull up those courses, you could navigate that. It will show you the elevation profile there, and then again, what collection you've saved that into previously. And when you're doing your trip planning inside of Garmin Explorer and you have it paired to your device, then everything syncs together. And so when you're out on the trail, these courses will then show up directly on the device. Another feature of having the eTrex Touch paired to your phone is the weather function within the eTrex Touch. So if we go in here and click on weather, so when you're on either Wi-Fi or paired to your phone, you'll be able to get this weather information. And so you've got current temperature, you've got your hourly forecast, this nice weather map, and then your daily forecast as well. So that when you're out on the trail, you can make sure that you have the upcoming conditions to make sure that you are going to stay dry. So that wraps up today's video. I hope you really enjoyed the unboxing all the way to the trail and everything in between, and have a great day.